Okay, guys, let me know if that you can see this because it kind of had a glitch there, and I'm waiting for my phone to tell me that it's live on my channel. And it wasn't like popping up with the live stream. I don't know why. I set it all up. I was so proud of myself because I got the timer to work. And yeah, I don't see it popping up on that channel yet. It's above my pay grade. And Dexter said hi like a minute ago. And now I don't see anybody in the chat because I'm confused about what is doing right or wrong. It's like way above what I can understand and do. Um, Anyways, I'm very excited that you guys have joined me, assuming that this is going out there. Let's see, latest. Let me see. Oh, that's 7 months ago. That would explain why that one's not on, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's something in my YouTube studio. Who knows? Guys, I swear to God, I need like a constant IT person just sitting here next to me all the time because it never seems to go the way I want it to. Um, yeah, I don't know. Is it live? I don't know. Hmm. Anyways, I may just be talking to myself. I may not be able to get it to go today for whatever silly reason there is, but I think it says that it is going. I'm not positive. I feel like an idiot every time because you'd think I would be able to figure this out, and I just can't. Oh, I do see it say live on my channel. Okay. So for those of you who are joining me after the fact, when it's acting weird and I'm just sitting here talking to myself and trying to figure it out, I apologize. I am not the most techie person. That's why I went into writing. And good, Natalie. Good to see you. I know that Dexter was here a second ago and I said hi, and then like nothing showed up on my end and it wasn't streaming on my end. So I stopped it and restarted it. But I did figure out the timer this week, I think. So we will probably have a timer when we do the sprints. Ah, good. Good to see you here, Dexter. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's been a weird tech week for me. Well, tech 2 weeks for me. Anyways, you guys remember a couple weeks ago I got a new laptop and I was in the middle of getting that set up by the IT department for the company that was giving it to me, and it couldn't finish it in time to get on the live stream. Well, I took that laptop with me to BoucherCon and I got water on it and I killed it. So I had to get another new one. And this new one had to be set up by the IT department. Actually, it's sitting over there doing whatever the IT people do to it to set it up and get it on the server. Meanwhile, my laptop, the one that I've always had, the keys had come off, the V and the O. I think I showed you guys a few weeks ago that the keys came off. And my husband, I love him very much, put a new keyboard on, but the shift key doesn't work and the escape key doesn't work. And a couple of the F key, F1, F2 keys don't work. It's been very frustrating. So, like, I can't get a computer that is working. I have three of them running in my office right now, and nothing is working the way it's supposed to. It's been making me nuts. So I'm hoping that all my tech issues are behind me and that next week it'll go well and that maybe just maybe the timer will work this week. I think it will because I think I've got it figured out, but I'm not 100% positive, like I said. I'm trying. Um, so you guys probably saw my video on BoucherCon and my very dorky picture with Michael Connolly because I was so excited to meet Michael Connolly and Brad Thor and Donald Moss and Lisa Jewell, excuse me, and Lisa Jewell and so many amazing authors like Lisa Black, a whole bunch of people. And then I don't know if I put this in the video or not. I don't think I did. When I was getting a book signed by Lisa Black, there was this other woman sitting next to her, and she's like, "Are you Shirley Jump?" And I was like, "Yes." And she goes, "Did you write Writing Compelling Fiction?" I said, "Yes." She goes, "I'm an adjunct professor. I use your book as my textbook in my class." And I was like, blown away, totally blown away. So now I've got to send this woman a whole bunch of free books because that's really awesome to me that she uses that book as her teaching lessons for the class. It was pretty cool. I don't think I've ever met anybody that uses my book as a basis for teaching writing. So that was awesome. Happy Friday, Heather. Good to see you here. And yes, Nat's number one, because I had to restart the whole thing. So sorry about that, Dexter. Um, So it was very, very cool and a very, very good conference. I just had a great time, and it's New Orleans, so amazing food, of course, and a few martinis and just great, great food. I don't know if you guys like Cajun food, but I went to Mr. B's, which I have been to before when I've been in New Orleans, and I got the barbecue shrimp. And many, many years ago, when I went to New Orleans to speak to a writing group, the hotel I was staying at didn't have a restaurant, so you had to order from Mr. B's and have it delivered over. I had the barbecue shrimp delivered 3 times in one night. 3 times in one night. The guy, when he delivered it the 3rd time, he's like, "You must really like this." It was so good. So I loved having that there. I had shrimp and grits. I had lots of other really yummy, yummy things because I love Cajun food. And it was just awesome. The weather was great. The whole conference was fantastic. I had a fantastic time and I can't wait for next year. Although next year's in Calgary, Canada, so hopefully it's not too cold in September up there. I have no idea. But if you have never been to a writing conference, I definitely recommend at least going to like a half day or a workshop or something like that. There's just a totally different vibe. And me and the other authors were all talking about this, about how there's this vibe of like we get each other, we understand each other, like we can talk writer with each other. I don't know about you guys, but my husband is not a writer. He's not even really a reader. He's a techie guy and not in the right kind of tech, obviously, given my live streams issues today. But he like builds cars and he's installing solar panels on our house. Like he's that kind of techie guy. So he doesn't talk writing. And when I'm in a room with just a bunch of writers, it is so fantastic. It really is. It's just awesome to have all these people talking about the things that you love. And there was just so many little like random conversations that I had with people that I would have never talked to like at a book signing or something like that, to just be sitting there talking to Donald Moss just about what it's like living where he lives now in Canada versus New York. Like I'm not talking to him about my career. I wasn't there to talk to him about my career. And if you don't know, he's a really famous literary agent. Just to be talking to these people that have achieved so much in the industry is just amazing. I don't know if you guys can see it, probably not, but there is a ginormous pile of books behind me. I took home like, I think 25 pounds of books. Yeah. And I'll be talking about them in the coming weeks because I did. I got like everything. And I was totally dorky and was like, can you sign my book? I loved it because it was very exciting. And my friend's like, it's clear that you love this. And I really, really do love this industry. It's been just a great blessing to be a part of it. And I'm happy to have you guys here with me. Hello again, Silver Ollie. Good to see you. So today's writing sprint is based on that because I thought, like, what about my character? What about has my character met somebody that impressed them? And if I can figure out how to share it, which I did not get a chance to figure that out because I spent like a half an hour figuring out the timer. But if I can figure out how to share it, I will show you guys the cover for my suspense that's going to come out next year. That's the book that I've been working on here. It's the one that I was going to write in 12 weeks, and we all see how that turned out. But I am putting a more concerted effort toward it. I got a critique partner so that I have somebody that's keeping me accountable every week because it's so easy to let work get in the way and not write. And that's what I'm going to be working on today is revising chapter 2. Because when I was sitting there with Catherine Ramsland, who wrote The Serial Killer's Apprentice and lots of other amazing books, she's a forensic psychologist expert in writing. She's like, "So what's your high concept pitch?" And I realized that I didn't really have one. And I had came up with one on the fly and then realized that the book doesn't quite fit that. So I have to revise it just a little to make this start fitting the high concept that I came up with. And high concept, if you don't know, is when you take something that's really popular and you mash it. It's like a mashup with something that was also popular, but you're doing your own twist. So, like, Die Hard on a Navy ship is Under Siege. That's basically the concept of Die Hard, of Under Siege with Steven Seagal. And Shrek is basically Cinderella with an ogre. So those kinds of things, that's a high concept. And so I really want it to fit that because it's easier to sell it. So if I can figure it out during one of the sprints, I will share the cover with you guys because I absolutely adore it. So let's do our first sprint so I can stop talking and we can all start writing. And let me know if you do the prompt and how that goes for you. I will see you guys in 15 minutes. And I'm pretty sure it will actually count it down this time. And I don't
And I
know why
don't
the
know why the
music's
music's
cutting out,
cutting out,
guys.
guys.
That's
That's
weird,
weird,
but
but
the timer's still
timer's still
going.
going.
Mm. Okay. The music decided not to be like steady. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to reload it into the software, I think, or find another set of music. I like that one actually. I kind of like the way that it just sort of goes along. If you guys don't like it, let me know and I'll try to find a different one. Okay. So you guys had lots of conversations. Nice to see you here, Gayla. David Bowie meeting him for real. That's really cool. I would love that. I wonder if was he like really unusual like he is on the stage and stuff, or was he just chill in real life? Um, a guy in my apartment block blowing conversations. Thanks, Shirley, to make me think about him. That's funny. Yeah, I plenty of people like that just the fou savant. Is that what it is? Because it's funny. I think I told you guys once before. When I was a substitute teacher, I had to say the word. I was reading out loud to the class and I had to say the word facade, but I had never like a lot of words you learn by reading, not by saying them. And I had never said it before or heard it before. If I did, I didn't know. And so I said facade, and the kids like all made fun of me because I was the adult, right? I was supposed to be the teacher. So I get words wrong a lot. I've had people correct me on my pronunciation of authors' names, and I'm like, listen, I'm just reading them. I'm not necessarily going out there and listening to how to pronounce names all the time. A fun on-screen match with Tom Cruise, who is, yeah, he says he's like five, whatever, but he's pretty short. I've heard. I've never actually met him, although he comes to the city where I live pretty often. And Dexter's doing a mystery fantasy, looking to upload the back cover blurb and free chapters, which is awesome. That sounds really good. I know my friends have done what's Pat. No, I don't even know. Never mind, because I've forgotten. I think it's What's Pad or something like that. That's what's app. Wattpad. My friends have done. I've never really done that, so I'm not the expert for that. I use BookFunnel for a free short story that I have for a download for people that want to sign up for my newsletter or information about my books. But other than that, I don't really do anything like that. So, okay. Yeah. Yes. Dexter, I'm not even going to try that word because you know what? I'm probably going to get it wrong. Um, and it's not like these are words that you use in your ordinary conversation, right? I did watch this really funny TikTok today that was a guy singing words in English and then another guy with like a deeper voice singing them back in Spanish. So you're like learning Spanish, and it was actually kind of catchy and sort of brilliant. Okay. So I did upload my book cover, and I think I figured it out how I can share it with you guys. So this is the book that I told you I was doing in the 12 weeks and didn't. I know I'm going to go back to doing some videos on that. Work is finally starting to slow down a little bit, although I'm going to a YouTube conference in October and then going to Dubai to speak in November and then going to Mexico to speak. So work may slow down, but my life is not getting much slower. Um, but this is the book I'm working on, and I'm super excited about it. It's been really fun. It's the first in a series, and I got the cover before I left for BoucherCon so that I could load it onto my bookmarks that I was giving out because I wanted to have something to talk about, and that was what it was. So, you guys, I haven't shared it on my channel at all. I haven't shared it anywhere else except for the bookmarks at BoucherCon. So, you guys are the first ones to see it. So, let me cut that over on the screen. And I should have like a little drum roll, except I don't know how to do that. So, and sound effects obviously are not my thing in this OBS software either. Boom, there it is. Okay, so it's the after party, and I love how my cover designer like sort of put the words behind this house on a cliff. And I just love it. Let me know what you guys think of it because I'm pretty excited about it. I had a couple of other cover designers attempt to do the cover, and nobody gets me like my current cover designer. She usually does all my nonfiction books, and this is the first fiction book of mine that I've had her do, but I really loved what she did. Isn't it? It's like gorgeous, and hopefully it says suspense to you, because that's what I want it to be like, really kind of, what happened here at the after party? And there is a murder at the after party. It's a party at a celebrity, like a TV movie celebrity's house, and he's horrible. And there's plenty of people that have reasons to kill him. So ominous. I love that. Yes, I think it looks really good. I think it fits the book. She didn't read the book, she just talked to me. And I just love what she did with it. I think it's amazing. So once I have a little bit more of it like written and I know for sure I can finish it on time, I will put a pre-order up on Amazon and start talking about it a lot more. But it's not far enough along for me to confidently say, yes, I can have it done whenever. Just because there's just too much travel between here and the end of the year. And then my husband has surgery on December 1st. So all of that is going to totally impact my amount of writing that I can do. I love the cover, the color and the vibe too. I just think it came out amazing. We tried a couple of different colors. We tried red and we tried green or like versions of red and green and gold. But this orangey goldy color, I think it's like a sunset. I think it really works well because he is murdered like after the party when the sun goes down. So, A Dark Summer of 42 or Shutter Island. Oh, thank you for the comparison to that. That was a great, great book, wasn't it? A great, great movie too. Shutter Island is one of the top books that I've ever read because it really surprised me in the end. I did read, and these ones I'm going to be talking about on the channel in the coming weeks. I read An Honest Man by Michael Carita on the plane and when I was in New Orleans. And I've been talking about this one Before She Disappeared by Lisa Gardner. And I also read Lisa Unger's Close Your Eyes and Count to 10. Those are the ones that I'm talking about right now. Oops, sorry, hit the microphone. And yeah, you guys can't see, you can kind of see this pile of books right here on my little table. That's like just the ones that I left in the office. And then I have like 10 more in my bedroom. And then I ended up taking over my husband's dresser to put books on there too. So yeah, it's been crazy. And I know that I accidentally made the timer go way too long in the sprint because I was setting up keys um to like start it, stop it. And I thought, well, let me make them easy to remember. So I made them backspace and delete. And you know what? You use backspace and delete a lot when you're doing a writing sprint. So I had to change them out to something a little bit more complicated so that I wouldn't just accidentally restart the timer again. I was gonna stop it and I couldn't figure out how long it had been, and I just ran with it. Like, yeah, this is the end of my work week, the end of your work week, hopefully. And yeah, I just cannot stress about things anymore because that's too much. So yes, look for me to start talking about it on the channel soonish. When I get just a little bit further along, I've only got 18,000 words done, and really only 10,000 of them are usable. The rest are just kind of ones that I wrote and then realized were not going to fit in the book. So, like four or five chapters, not a whole lot, and only three of those chapters are like almost to where I want them to be. So it's a long ways away from being a full book. But I'm excited to share with you guys when I get there. Okay, let's do another sprint. And I can't fix the audio in like this moment while I'm on the live stream. So I'm gonna just run with it. You guys can always mute it. I can make the timer work and hopefully not restart it again. So, oh, and it restarted itself. I don't know. All right, so we're going to do 14 minutes and 39 seconds because I apparently have not mastered the timer like I thought I had. Stupid music. I don't know. I'm gonna try to fix that before next week. I have to put myself a note. Music for live. And maybe if I can get this all working right, like it'll be much better and I won't have so many problems. Um, let's see. Jenny was saying, I saw that I feel like my scenes are pointless, even though my protagonist has a goal and trauma. The middle part is boring and flat. And after the lowest point, I have no clue what to write. That is so common. So many of us go through that. I know that I have been through it a million times with the books that I've worked on. In general, when the middle is flat, it's because the stakes didn't get high enough. It's just a generalization. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what's happening with your book, but in general, that's the problem, that the stakes things didn't get worse enough, that the stakes aren't high enough for the reader to care, and then or things aren't moving along fast enough. You sometimes just need to have a lot of things happen in the middle to keep it going. Um, and let me see. She said she's watched so many videos, writing videos. I don't know more anymore what to do. I get that because I remember when I first started out and I had such an inundation of information and all these classes that I took and all these different authors telling people how to write. And I couldn't figure out like what was the best way to do it? What was the best way to make this scene really work? What was I doing wrong? How was I supposed to figure it out? And I would say that the two best things that I did was I got to the end of each scene and I said, how did things get a lot worse? Not just a little worse, but a lot worse. Because sometimes you have to like reword some of the advice that you hear so that it fits the way that you understand it. What I had heard a million times was, when things are going flat in your book, throw another bear in the boat. And I'm like, what the hell does throw another bear in the boat mean? It didn't mean anything to me. But then when I started looking at scenes in terms of how did things get worse, like a lot worse for my characters, then I could say, okay, I'm probably going to write myself into a corner here. I may not know how to fix it, but I'm going to put this in anyway. And then I know I say it a lot on the channel, but you've really got to trust your gut. If your gut is saying that the middle is flat and boring, it probably is. Maybe you just need to delete it and just go in a new direction. I know that sounds horrifying because you've written all these words, but literally, I just deleted chapter two and started over again and realized as I'm sitting here working on this with you guys, I am putting this other dead body into the book way too early. It needs to come in later because I need to give my character more motivation to do what she's going to do. And so I just took all that out. And so now I'm looking at a chapter two that is 2 pages long. So I need to add a little bit more to it because my gut kept telling me this isn't working. I felt like I was trying to force a square peg into a round hole. So you've got to really listen to those feelings that you have and sometimes just delete and start over. Or maybe you have too much trauma. Maybe you have too much emotion, not enough action. Maybe the character's not taking enough action to change her own life. Because one of the other things I would do a lot was have these characters whine, basically. Like they'd be like, oh, I'm so disturbed by this, or I'm so, upset about this, or I can't take this risk because of that in my past. And it got to the point where I was just like, oh my gosh, just for Pete's sake, just get off your butt and do something about it. So sometimes we get mired down in making sure we're showing enough emotion rather than having the character take action to go after it. An Honest Man, which is a book I'll be talking about on the channel in upcoming videos, is really, really good by Michael Carita. This is a guy who was in prison for killing his own father. And yet Michael Carita makes him very likable. And he has a lot of demons, but he's always acting. And then sometimes what he does is in the exact opposite direction of what I expected him to do. That kept it interesting. And then there's also a young boy, like a 12-year-old boy in this book. And those stakes, I'm really invested in how that's going to work out for the boy. It was a really well done book. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. And the scenes are just things that happen one after the other, she said. So that is basically an episodic plot where you're not having enough stakes, emotional stakes, where things are getting worse emotionally and internally to force the character to change and step out of their comfort zone. When you have it, what's called an episodic plot, things you can just set these scenes by themselves and they're not really linked by this escalating stakes. So you've got to study a book that does a really good job with escalating stakes and ask yourself at the end of each scene or chapter, how did things get worse for this character? How did they take action or not take action? How did that impact the book? Why did I keep turning the pages until 3 in the morning? All of those questions. can really help a lot. Um, and I personally do not know what my ending is going to be until I get to the end of the book. Like, I don't actually know who did the murder in the after party. I think I do, but I'm not positive. I know what is going on and why this guy is murdered, but I don't actually know who did it. So a lot of times I'm writing a book, I have no idea how it's going to end. And I let these characters act, take actions, and go after things that force them to step out of their comfort zone. And, Jenny, you may not really need all this themes and psychological needs and all of that. You may be getting too mired down in all of the crap that, they tell you to worry about rather than just writing from your gut and studying a really good book and saying, okay, what did this author do right? How can I apply this to my book? Great job, Silver Ollie, on the words. Little Library of Horrors. I feel like my biggest issue is dialogue between characters. So I don't really have the real life experience to understand what my characters should be talking about. So for me, I write my dialogue out loud. I speak it as I write it so that I can hear the characters and make sure that that is realistic from that person, or it sounds like realistic dialogue, because we don't necessarily speak in complete sentences and long paragraphs unless we're just here on a live stream just talking to people that can't talk back. And I'm just talking in long paragraphs. Um, but what you really want to do is just, there's so much content out there nowadays that didn't exist when I first started. Watch people that are in that. Like, let's say you're not a football player, you have no knowledge of football, you've never played football or been around a football player. If you just watch a lot of the documentaries or the TV series or whatever that are about football players, you can kind of pick up some of the way that they talk, or read some books that are with characters that are like that. You obviously don't want to copy the dialogue, but you do want to get a sense of who these people are. Like, I'm writing a cop right now. I'm not a cop. I've been around cops, but I haven't had like a ton of conversations with cops. So to make it sound realistic, I'm really drawing on what I know about cops from what I've read, what I've seen, what I've overheard, things like that. Um, hey, NBR, good to see you. And Kestrel says, I love writing dialogues, but have issues with descriptions and action. That's me. Like, a lot of times I have really good dialogue because it's easy to write. And then I got to remember to put clothes on these people and make them move around the room. Um, and the dialogue really has to happen with the action too. Like, a lot of people write tons and tons of description, and then I'm like, okay, so nobody's moving, nobody's doing anything, nobody's talking in this scene. Because when you look at how long your narrative goes, if you have two characters in a scene and you time it, you'll see that basically one person's staring at another for like 20 minutes if you have like 5 pages of introspection. So that's not natural. The other person be sitting there going, what's wrong with you? Why are you not talking? So having characters talk while they act, while they do things, while they're engaging, you can layer in a lot of things like that. Um, and NBR, this is my book that I am working on. I wanted to show you guys the cover first. This will be out hopefully in spring. It's the one that I was doing during the 12 weeks to write a book and then didn't write a book in 12 weeks. Welcome to real life. And it's what I've been working on the sprints. I don't have a release date for it yet. I just wanted to share the cover with you guys because it's so freaking cool. And when I do have a release date, or I'm more confident about when I can get it done, I will let you guys know. So, okay. So I think I answered all your questions here, guys. Jenny, let me know if that helps. I know that it's hard. I know that you can feel overwhelmed by all of the things that you have to remember to do and get across in your book. And sometimes I think that's like having a recipe where every ingredient has to be down to like the eighth of a teaspoon, and then you forget if you put this one in or that one in, and then you lose confidence in your cooking abilities. So really listen to your gut. It sounds simple. It's not. It's harder than it sounds. But you've got to really listen. Your gut is telling you that there's something wrong there, and maybe just take a couple weeks off from the book, or maybe just pick up from where the book starts to feel flat and boring and just write something completely different with it. Just take the characters in a whole new direction with no intention of having a arc or a theme or a plot or any of that. Just let them run and see what happens. Because sometimes that's the funnest part. And yeah, you're going to have to corral it back into a story, but if you just let them run and you write from your gut, you can come out with some really good things and create a book that really comes together. And yes, stakes are super important. Not so easy to come up with, but definitely super important. What have they lost? What is it going to cost them? What are they most afraid of here? Those are great questions that you can ask yourself to really make it come together. So that's our hour, and I'm kind of at a stuck point here. So I just left myself a note. Why would this character do this? So I've got to kind of think about it. But apologies for the whatever hits IT stuff with this. I did put myself a little note on my whole to-do list to fix the music. Um, and hopefully next week I remember to do that beforehand. Got the timer working, so I'll take that. I may forget that I have to press the certain keys to make the timer work, so I'm putting a note to myself about that too, because the whole week gets away from me before I know it. So thank you guys for joining me. And there's a new video on the channel right now. I have one about what I've learned from the 1,000 books I've read. I have one about BaoShiCon conference, and I have no idea which one I'm going to edit for Monday. A lot of times I don't figure that out until like Sunday night. So thanks for joining me at the live stream, and hope to see you guys again.